Hi guys, this is Dave from Orchids and Fynbos. I hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I'd take you through my collection to show you some of my South African and African orchid species. I have a few in my collection as well as a few hybrids. Interestingly enough, I've found these species harder than any of the other orchid species and hybrids I have in my collection. I found them harder to care for. Not sure why, considering this is their natural habitat, but let's get started and I'll take you through a few of them. Okay, so let's start over here. So this is my Polystachya autoniana. So this grows along the coast from the Western Cape all the way through to KwaZulu-Natal and up into the Limpopo area. I purchased this from a nursery in KZN about a year or so ago. It has flowered for me once. It has beautiful white flowers and flowers between August to December. Unfortunately, I have no pictures of this one in flower. I was a little bit silly and didn't take a picture at the time. I have no idea what happened. Might have had to do with the crazy new job and etc, etc. But this is a very beautiful orchid when it's in flower, and it has this little white bell-shaped type of flowers, or at least for me they were a bit bell-shaped. I see in books they're a little bit more wide open. Yeah. Next we have this beautiful complexed hybrid over here. So this is Stenoglottis aquarius, which is a complex hybrid consisting in its ancestry of Stenoglottis longifolia and Stenoglottis fimbriata. So the longifolia is a little bit more rare and found naturally occurring in the KZN region, and the fimbriata fairly common from Eastern Cape through to Limpopo. They're usually found growing in water seepages or mossy substrates. They are deciduous orchids, and they completely lose their foliage after flowering. As you can see, the tips over here on these leaves are already starting to yellow, and they basically die back all the way to the ground. Stenoglottis usually flower between August through to May before. Another deciduous orchid that I have in my collection is Satyrium odorum. This orchid grows profusely in some conditions and can grow like a weed, similar to Disa bracteata. This actually just appeared one day in the garden at my old house. So obviously took that area of the soil and potted it up with the orchid in. I suspect that some birds dropped a few seeds or somehow, who knows actually. It's only found in the Western Cape area and flowers from August through to October. And about 3 years ago I noticed these species actually sprouting all around the Cape Town area. I'm not sure what happened at the time, maybe there was some type of something out of balance in the ecosystem around that time. It has beautiful clove scented flowers. It's like a sweet clovey smell. It's much stronger in the evening times, so it obviously has nocturnal pollinators, and it also has beautiful little tiny green flowers. And I'll put a picture in, or insert a picture of this, because I have quite a few of these in bloom, or pictures of these in bloom. Next I want to show you my beautiful orchid species, the Angraecum sesquipedale, also known as the Darwin's orchid, because of the long spurs of the flower, which Darwin hypothesized must be pollinated by a moth with an enormously long proboscis. Essentially the moth would then be able to get the nectar deep inside the spur of the flower. So this orchid is not a South African orchid species. It's actually endemic to Madagascar. I purchased this one from a nursery in the KZN area, and I will insert a few pictures that I have of this orchid at the various orchid shows that I've been to. Just some brief cultural notes on this orchid. As you can see, these leaves have started to flop a bit. So this is actually from a bit of past stress that the orchid had. Essentially, when the humidity is not high enough, the leaves will start to close up over here and bend over like this. But as you can see, the newer leaves are upright and look very healthy. I'll just show you the roots of this orchid. You can see it coming through the bottom of the basket over here. Very, very happy. They actually have interesting flat shaped roots. You can see it over there. Quite a unique root shape. It's the base of the orchid over there. Yeah, so that's the Angraecum sesquipedale. Next, I want to show you my two Satoko species, the Satorchis arcuata, and in the back of here, the Satorchis chiloana. I've been struggling a bit to keep the humidity high enough for these two orchid species, but at the same time, I don't want to pot them. Because, for instance, this one over here has beautiful roots running along the tree bark. And I don't want to damage the roots in an attempt to pot this orchid. So right now I'm trying to give it a higher humidity. It seems to be working with this one. The chiloana ever is still struggling quite a bit. I'm hoping to see what happens in this next, well, once we're through winter, to see what happens this spring. Hopefully I can get this one sorted out, otherwise I'm going to have to repot that one. So the arcuata is endemic to South Africa and is found along the coast from the Western Cape through to KZN and up into the Limpopo area, while the chiloana is endemic to the West Africa. Both species have beautiful white flowers which turn an apricot color when they begin to fade. Unfortunately, I have not seen either of these species in bloom yet. However, the moment they send out buds, I will post a video for you guys to see. Species I would like to show you is my Mystacidium capense, which is probably the happiest in my collection because it's flowering for me every single year around Christmas time. This orchid can be found along the Western Cape through to KZN and up into the Limpopo area. It flowers between September through to January. And has beautiful white little flowers that have a strong jasmine to honeysuckle scent. They've basically the scent is smelt during the evenings, and it is a very beautiful little orchid. And it has little white flowers with long spurs, and it's absolutely happy in my collection. The last South African species that I want to show you in my collection is the Ansellia Africana, also known as the leopard orchid. This orchid is found in Limpopo through to Mpumalanga and KZN, and is found in savanna and shrubland areas. The orchid flowers from August to November with beautiful yellow and brown flowers with spots on them. These forms of spots can vary from very minimal light yellow colored flowers with a few faint brown markings, all the way through to deeply colored and through to yellow flowers with deeply colored brown spots, which is the variant that I have. The orchid has when it's in flower, has a musk fragrance, which in my opinion, in the case of the variant that we have, is a bit unpleasant. I have smelt some of the lighter forms which seem to have very pleasant fragrant flowers, but this variant that I have seems to smell a bit like fly spray. And in South Africa we have doom, and that's kind of what it smells like. However, as I said, the lighter variants do have a beautiful fragrance. Interesting fact though, this orchid also, along with the grammatophyllums, is called the trash basket orchid. It creates these aerial roots, fine aerial roots that collect leaf litter that decomposes and actually feeds the orchid. I'm going to show you a few of those right now, if I can actually find some of them. So obviously this grey man's beard over here is not the roots, that's another aerial to Lancia. But over here, if you look at these fine structures over here, these are the fine root structures of the orchid that collect leaf litter. I'll show you a few more on this angle over here. You can see some in this corner over here. So yeah, so that's why it's called the trash basket orchid. So mine's been struggling a bit. I keep it outside actually. I've been trying to acclimatize it to our local area. It doesn't actually grow here in the Western Cape. It's found in, as I said, higher up in South Africa. But I'm trying to acclimatize it to our conditions here, which is why it's not the greatest. But I'm trying to get it to grow outside. It's put out a new shoot at the moment. It's doing quite well this year actually. But yeah, we'll see how it does in this condition outside. Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me showing you more of my South African and African orchid species. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up down below, and please subscribe for more amazing videos of my orchid species in my collection, as well as some orchids and Fynbos videos. Once the lockdown's over, guys, I will definitely go out into nature and take videos of some of more of our endemic orchid species and some of our Fynbos. So please stay tuned for that, and then also check out this video above, which is our trip to KZN, which you can look at in the meantime while you wait for us to get out of the lockdown. Hope you guys enjoy, and again, please don't forget to subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.